department to call at that time. So Lord Brahma, he called for Ganga Devi. You please come here. And Ganga came and she put out the fire. And there's a number of other stories I won't go into because I have some very nice thing I'd like to tell you, a little different thing. I should tell you a couple other small things about this. There's many people, many stories here about Pandits going into the water here, and when they come out, they're at the Ganga in some other place in West Bengal, because this place is none different from the Ganga. And according to the Madhula Panji is kind of like the temple history book, the Puri. According to the Madhula Panji, I don't know, I wasn't there, but according to this book, there was a very famous sadhu who came to Jagannath Puri, and he was staying right here at Shweta Ganga about 2,000 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
And his name was Jesus Christ. That's what they say. I don't know. They also say that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was coming here every day and taking bath and chanting his Gayatri here at this place. So it's a very, very special place, and there's so many stories about it. We should sprinkle some water on our head before we go, not right now, and then we can go inside and have darshan of Shweta Madhav, the incarnation of the Lord, and Shweta Raj is the king there, and Lord Shiva's in there. And they say if you have baths and you have darshan of these ancient deities, it's very, very auspicious. So there's many, many other stories about this. I don't want to go in that direction. I would like to say something about something else. We made a magazine a few years ago. This is a copy of it, our Krishna Katamrita magazine. And we called it Petit Pavan, the most merciful Lord. That sounds nice, doesn't it? Right? Now, for those of you in the back you can't see, there's a little sign underneath Jagannath. What does it say?
Only Hindus are allowed.
So, Petit Pavan, the most merciful Lord, only Hindus are allowed. Does it work? If you say that 2 plus 2 is 6, or is 3, it doesn't work, right? So how can you say he's Petit Pavan? He's the most merciful, but only Hindus allowed, only he can go inside. And maybe him. I'm not allowed inside. If I try to go inside, they'll beat me with sticks. So we may become very hurt. And it really doesn't make sense. Especially, I can say for myself, one of the first services I had, after I'd been in the movement for a year or so, I had second initiation. I began bathing and dressing Lord Jagannath in Los Angeles Temple. And Jagannath was very kind. He came in a dream to me once, different things. And there are many, many, raise your hand, how many of you here worship Lord Jagannath or have worshipped the deity of Jagannath sometime? Raise your hand. How many of you ever take part in Rath Yatra? Raise your hand. Everybody. Right? So sometimes I meet Western devotees, and they're working so hard for Lord Jagannath. They love Jagannath. They give everything to him. And they're so excited. I'm going to Jagannath Puri. Yes! And they come here, and they want to go inside the temple. And they see this sign outside. Only Hindus allowed. You're not allowed inside. And sometimes the Western devotees, they feel a little hurt. Maybe even they feel angry. It's wrong. Srila Prabhupada, in 1977, February, he came here to Jagannath Puri, and he chastised the Pandits. He gave a Pandal program. Some Pandits were there. And he told them, this is Vaishnava Aparad. These Westerners are devotees, you should allow them inside. However, Srila Prabhupada also told Hari Sari Prabhu, he personally told me, and some other devotees, don't argue with them. You should remember Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur is a very ironic thing. Who is Haridas Thakur? Does anybody know? He's Lord Brahma. Okay. Who installed the deity of Jagannath in the temple? Lord Brahma. The same person who installed the deity in the temple, now he's coming here, and they're telling him, Pravesh Nished, entered forbidden, you can't come inside. He could have said, hey, don't you know who I am? I'm the one who installed the deity, get out of my way. He could have told them, I'm the Namacharya. He could have written an email to Maharaj Prataparudra. You tell them, let me inside. He could have spoke to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he didn't do it. You can chant Hare Krishna when I sing this in response. Instead, he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Amita Adama Tumi Adama Tarana Ubaye Sambandhahe Patita Pavana Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Anybody like to know who you are in the spiritual world? Raise your hand. So this is a very secret mantra. This is a Siddha Karnali mantra. This will tell you your identity. He says, Amita Adama. This is what I am. Am I a gopi? I don't know. Am I a cowherd boy? Am I a peacock? I don't know. Amita Adama. I'm fallen. That's what I know. I don't know about all this other. Amita Adama. Tumi Adama Tarana, and I understand who you are. You're Adama Tarana, you're the deliverer of the fallen people like me. Ubaye Sambandhe. This is our connection. O Patita Pavan. O deliverer of the fallen. So, the next time some Western devotee is standing in front of the Jagannath Mandir and feeling depressed, it's not good. Very bad, they don't allow me inside, this is some aparad. Don't feel sad. Look around you. And you may find you have good association. You may find Haridas Thakur next to you. You may find Balaram Das. You may find Salabeg. You don't know those names, most of you. But Salabeg, if you want to make someone in Orissa cry, you just start singing Jagat Bandhu He Gosai, and they'll go mad. You say that much, Jagat Bandhu He Gosai, and you sing it like that, oh, they'll go crazy. It's a very famous song by Salabeg. He's the most famous poet writing songs glorifying Jagannath. But he was from a Muslim family. It was a little complicated. His mother's name was Lalita. She came from a Brahmin family in Gopinathpur, not far from her. But his father, was named Lal Beg. He was a hardcore Muslim. So he wasn't allowed inside the temple. He's the most famous poet, the most famous devotee practically of Jagannath and Orissa. I'm sorry, are you going to be okay? Just standing here? Really? You don't want someplace to sit? If you need someplace to sit, because maybe we're going to be here for 1 hour. Okay? I don't want to torture anybody. You'll be angry with me. So, we may feel a little hurt, but you should think, you look around you, who else is there? Now, I'd like to tell you, if all goes well, I'd like to tell you 3 stories. But all 3 stories are a little long, so we'll see how it goes. Okay? So there's a book called the Lakshmi Purana. It's a Stala Purana. Jiva Goswami speaks about this in his Sandarbhas. He says that one type of evidence is Stala Puranas. It means local tradition, or sometimes there's some local books. In the Ladi Mahodaya, that's one Stala Purana. The Vamadi Samhita, that's another Stala Purana here in Orissa. There's a Kapila Samhita, that's another Stala Purana. There's a Lakshmi Purana. So this Lakshmi Purana tells a very nice story that I'd like to tell all of you. Now this is a very good story for men also, especially if you're married. You should listen to this very carefully. It has some very good words of advice. Okay? So during the month of Magh here in Orissa, every Thursday it's traditional that the ladies, they worship Lakshmi Devi. Now there was one lady, her name was Shriya Chandalini. That's what they say her name. She was a very low-class lady, a Chandalini, Chandal, but she liked to worship Lakshmi Devi. And she was doing it so nice. You see, you come to Orissa, they take some rice flour and little water, and they make footprints of Lakshmi Devi going inside their house, and they make designs in the walls, and they clean everything. It's very nice. Lakshmi Devi was so pleased with this lady, even though she was a Chandalini. She told Jagannath, I'm going to give her my darshan. Yes. So she came outside the temple and she went to that lady's house and she gave darshan to that lady. Meanwhile, inside the temple, Balaram was looking around and he asked Krishna, Jagannath, he said, where's your wife? Jagannath said, oh, she went to give darshan to some Chandalini lady. Balaram looked at him and said, hey, this is Jagannath Puri. We don't do that. We don't go and give darshan to low-class people. They're not allowed inside the temple. Jagannath said, she's a woman, she just went to give darshan, don't worry, it's a small thing. Balaram said, no, you don't understand. Balaram said, she can't come back to the temple now. Jagannath said, Balaram, come on, she's my wife. It's okay, she just went to give darshan, so don't worry about it, she's just a lady, they always do kind of goofy things, you know. Balaram said, hey, you have a choice. You can have a wife, or you can have a brother. He said, your problem, Jagannath, is you're too attached to your wife. And you're letting her just do anything she wants. If you allow her back in the temple, then I'm leaving. So you have a choice. You can have a wife, or you can have a brother. Jagannath couldn't say anything. When Lakshmi Devi came back to the temple, she was very happy, but she found the doors were closed. So she knocked on the door. Hey, open up, it's me, Lakshmi Devi. The chowkidar came out and closed the door. And he said, Mataji, I'm very sorry, it wasn't my idea. I said, you see, Balaram, Jagannath, they told me this thing, you're not allowed inside anymore. You went to see this Chandalini. Lakshmi Devi said, I didn't do anything bad. I just went to give some blessing to the devotee. You tell my husband, he should let me inside. And if he doesn't, it's going to be very bad for him. Yes, yes, he went to Jagannath. Jagannath said, Balaram. Balaram said, my wife, you want a brother? Jagannath said, okay, but I think this is very bad. I don't think this is a good idea. Balaram said, is your problem? You're too attached to your wife. So the chowkidar went back out and told Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi said, fine, it's just fine, no problem. So she left. Now, you should be very careful of your wife. Shastra says, actually Chaitanya Bhagavat says, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta stands on it, he says you should see that your wife is a manifestation of Lakshmi Devi. So everybody likes Lakshmi. Not everyone worships Jagannath or Krishna, actually very few people. But more people worship Lord Shiva or Ganesh, get some money, it's cool. But everybody, directly or indirectly, everybody worships Lakshmi. So Lakshmi Devi has a lot of good connections. So she picked up her phone, she made a little call. She said, hello, Ashtavetala. Ashtavetala is 8 kind of ghostly creatures. He said, I want you to do something for me. Yeah? She made another call. She said, Goddess Nidra. And he just said, yes, Lakshmi, what is it? Nidra. Tonight I want you to put the 2 brothers to sleep. Very deep sleep. Yes, Mataji? Okay, then she called the Astavetalas. And she told the Astavetalas, tonight, when the brothers are sleeping, you go in the temple, and I want you to take all the valuable things out of the temple. Take everything out of the temple. Yes, Mataji? So the next morning, it was very late. Maybe 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning. The sunshine started coming through. And Balaram and Jagannath woke up. And Jagannath noticed, what happened to our nice bed? Now we're laying on some wooden cot. What is this? And he said, where are the Pandavas? They're supposed to bring us breakfast by now. Nothing is here. And Jagannath told Balaram, I told you, this is because of Lakshmi. It wasn't a good idea. Balaram said, you worry too much. Balaram said, you don't know. I'm a good cook. I'll make breakfast this morning. It's no problem. Jagannath said, well, okay, I guess so. So then they went to the Bangar to see the grains. There wasn't even 1 grain of flour left. the Asavetalas took everything away. And Jagannath was looking really a little depressed. He said, I'm hungry. Balaram said, don't worry, this is Jagannath Puri. We're famous here. So they took some umbrellas and they went out in the street like brahmacharis. And they went to someone's house and they knocked on the door. They said, Bo Mata, Bhagavati Diksham Dehi. Oh Mataji, please give us something to eat. And they started reciting Vedic mantras. Om Sahasya Sirsa Purushaha Sahasyaksha Sahasyapat Sabhumin Vishvato Vijjatjatishta Dasangulam. The lady was very impressed. Oh, two very nice brahmacharis. Yes, yes, I'm just cooking something right now. You please sit down right here. She gave them nice seats. I'll be finished in just a moment. Balaram said, see, I told you, Jagannath, it's no problem. So the lady's in the kitchen cooking, and she's making very nice malpur sweets. She's making very nice rice and sabji and dalma, so many different preparations. And meanwhile, Lakshmi Devi made another phone call. Hello, Vayu. I want you to blow all the boga away. Thank you. So all of a sudden, it was a very strange thing. Inside that lady's kitchen, it's inside, all the doors are closed. All of a sudden, a terrific wind came. And all the boga and the pots started blowing out the window. She never, what is this? Some ghost? She thought, this was brahmacharis. They're very inauspicious. She came out and started yelling at them, no, go away! And Balaram and Jagannath, what do we do? And she picked up a broom, no, go! And she started chasing him with the broom. And Balaram and Jagannath are running. And Jagannath tells Balaram, this is very bad. Even in Vrindavan, Mother Yashoda never hit me with a broom. You don't worry, we'll go somewhere else. But every house they went to, Lakshmi Devi had made some phone call. And people were very angry. Hey, get a job. Don't come beg from me. Go away. And Balaram and Jagannath had nothing to eat. Finally, they were walking over near the beach. And they saw a very poor beggar. He was laying on his back. His belly was very swollen and big. And he was rubbing his belly and he was moaning. And he was talking to himself. Oh my God, I've never ate so much. What a feast that was. It was fantastic. And Jagannath hears it. What feast is this? He said, you didn't know? There's a very rich lady out on Chakratirtha Road. Our house is on Chakratirtha Road, not very far. There's a very wealthy lady there. And she gives so much nice food to anyone who comes and begs. Balaram said, yes, see, we go, no problem. So they started walking over the beach. Right? And Lakshmi Devi made another phone call. Hello, Suryadev, turn up the heat. So suddenly, the sun started coming down very heavy. It came extremely hot, and the sand was burning, and they had bare feet, and they were running, they were crying. So finally, then they got to this lady's house, and they went and knocked on the door. Oh, Mata Bhagavati Bhikshandehi, please give us something to eat. And a maidservant came outside. She said, I don't know. Let me ask my mistress. Okay. So she went back inside. She came back out a minute later and she said, I'm very sorry. My mistress says that she's a Chandalini. She's a low-class woman. And you both look like very high-caste people. She can't cook for you. And Balaram said, yes. We're very high-caste people. We don't just take from anybody. But Balaram said, but one thing. You can give us some vegetables and rice and a pot and some firewood, and I'll cook. So they brought all those things, and Balaram said, see, I told you there's no problem. And Balaram started cutting vegetables. They're going to make a very nice sabji. Even Jagannath is becoming happy. And Balaram started lighting the fire. And Lakshmi Devi, she made another phone call. Hello, Agni Dev got a fire. No fire, just smoke. Another phone call. Hello, Vayu, it's me again. Blow the smoke in their faces. Thank you. So, Balaram was trying to light the fire, but the fire wasn't lighting. Just smoke, big clouds of smoke, and the wind was blowing into their eyes. Maybe that's how Jagannath's face became black. And they were crying. And Jagannath said, I told you, we shouldn't have done this to Lakshmi Devi. And Jagannath said, I'm very hungry. And Balaram said, I'm also hungry. Let's go back to that lady's house. So they went back to that lady's house, and again they knocked on the door. It's us again. Please, we're very hungry. But my mistress can't cook for you because she's a Chandalini and you're very high-class people. No, we don't care about that. We're hungry. Oh, let me talk to her. My mistress says you should come in. And they went inside that house and they saw, oh my God, the place was fantastic. The most opulent place you've ever seen. Golden chandeliers, and silver, and jewels everywhere and things. And so many servants. But all the servants were ladies. Okay? Balaram and Jagannath sat down. My mistress will be here in just a minute. Would you like some water? Yes. And then the mistress came out with a big plate of food. And Jagannath and Balaram, it smells very good. Just like Lakshmi used to cook. And they look at the mistress when she comes. And it was Lakshmi Devi. And Jagannath and Balaram became a little shy. Lakshmi Devi, we're very happy to see you again. And Lakshmi Devi, she said, you wouldn't let me in the temple. And Balaram said, we made a big mistake. We're very sorry, but we're very hungry now. You please forgive us and give us something to eat. Lakshmi Devi said, okay, I'll give you some prasad, give you something to eat, some bhoga. She said, but you have to promise that henceforth Jagannath Mahaprasad will be available for everyone, no matter what kind of caste or anything they come from. And they tell this story, and they tell all the men, Sadhu Savadan, my dear sadhus, be careful, respect your wife, very dangerous. So you don't know. When you're standing outside of the temple, it's the Sri Mandir, means Lakshmi Devi's temple. Maybe she's locked outside. You shouldn't feel so bad. And not only Lakshmi is locked out sometimes, but there's also someone else who's locked out. When we made this magazine, we focused on several subject matters. One of them was something which happens every year in a famous Ekadasi we know as Pandava Nirjala Ekadasi. But in the Jagannath Mandir it's more famous as Lakshmi Narayan Vivaha. The day that Lakshmi and Jagannath get married. So on that day, they have a wedding ceremony. It's very romantic, all the ladies are like this. And they take Jagannath's cloth and Lakshmi Devi's cloth and they tie a knot in it. It's really very, very romantic, very nice. And then 4 days after that is a Purnima. What Purnima is that? It's called Snan Purnima. Now there's a very deep esoteric explanation about Snan Purnima. I'm not going to go in that direction today because that would take us an extra hour or more. But to tell you a little bit of it, we think